So yesterday I drove to Tampa and picked up Robin from the airport. She's been up in New Jersey for a week and visiting with her grandson and her son and her daughter-in-law. And her daughter. Her daughter went to visit her too. But yesterday she came home and I drove to Tampa. It's about a 90-mile drive. And along the way I saw this sign for Dunkin' Donuts. So, well, if you know me, that's kind of a call to action. So Dunkin' Donuts was celebrating National Donut Day or International Donut Day or something. But it wasn't yesterday. It's today. It's Friday, June 7th. So there we go. Today we're going to paint donuts. And I used gouache paint to do it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about painting donuts or anything. I don't even know what I want to say there. But commercial art that you might use in advertising. Although I really prefer to think of this more as the artistic, sweet side of myself. All right, let me show you how I did that. Well, I don't know if this seems to be honest or not, but I promise this is honest. The idea of painting donuts was definitely a challenge. I don't think I've ever painted donuts, especially sprinkled donuts. So if you're curious about the reference photo, it's from a website called Unsplash. And Unsplash is really a good place to get some reference photos for artists. Because that's what the photographers on there do. I think there are some artists on there also, but it's mostly photographers. And I would advise that you use it as reference and not necessarily to duplicate it, although you could argue that I kind of did with this one. I kind of did my best to capture the essence of the donut. And today is National Donut Day, at least here in the U.S. I wasn't sure if it was international or not, so I just thought this would be a fun topic, a fun video. And I guarantee there is somebody already in my mind who will be the recipient of this picture of donuts. Again, this could be a card for myself, because if the truth is going to be out there and honest with you, which is what I'm trying to do on these videos, I am a donut freak. I don't know if that's true. Well, let me put it this way. I kind of am. But you know how people say I'm a recovering alcoholic, or I'm a recovering whatever. Well, I'm kind of a recovering donut-holic. Although, that would mean that I don't eat them at all, which is not true either. I had some yesterday, and they were good. Oh, this is a fun topic. So obviously the first thing I had to do was to sketch the donuts. And so that's what I'm doing here. To be honest with you, it wasn't the donuts that gave me the problem. It was the background. I didn't know what to do with the background. I didn't know whether to put a box there or like a plate or something. So I kind of went for the idea that maybe there's a plate and the sprinkles are falling off of the donuts a little bit. They're stacked like the Leaning Tower of Donut. Are you ready for some fun stuff? I thought I would share some fun stuff that I found. Since I'm narrating after the fact, it's easier for me to read some of these things that I prepare. And so I have a couple of poems. Yes, I know, that's crazy. There are lots of poems about donuts. Now here's the big debate that I did not know was a debate. You want to get into a debate that won't get everybody pulling their hair out? Debate on the spelling of the word donut. There are people who swear up and down it's DONUT. And there are other people who swear up and down it's DOUGHNUT, like a nut of dough. I don't know. I don't care. I'm good with either way. So, that said, I'm trying to keep this one as silly and fun as possible. As silly and fun as the subject at hand. Today is National Donut Day. And it's 7:14 in the morning, so trust me, when you paint donuts this early in the morning, and, by the way, have a cup of coffee this early in the morning, well, the two things go together. The only problem is there are no donuts in the house. So, if I'm going to get a donut, I guess I got to go out and get one. Now, that's key right there. The number one. Don't go out for 2 donuts. Don't go out for a dozen donuts. If you go out for half a dozen donuts, or even just 2 donuts, you're going to tell yourself a fib. I'll speak for myself, right? But I think if I went out to get a dozen donuts with the idea that I would share them with 11 people, or that I would have one a day for the next 12 days, I am lying to myself. I know I am. So the trick is to get one. Just get one. Treat yourself to one. Oh, so let's talk about the art a little bit before I get into the poems. I wasn't really sure. Everything I do in art is kind of an experiment. But I was looking at the reference photo and I was trying to decide what color is the donut before it's frosted and before it has the sprinkles on it. And I went for yellow ochre. And yellow ochre was not good enough. Because, to tell you the truth, it's almost like an orange color. But it's a variation because you have the shadowed side. You have the part that maybe had a little more heat or something during the baking process. Or what do they do? Deep fry these things? However they make them, I don't know. But they have a graduating color look to them. Some are more yellow, some areas are more yellow, some areas are more brown. So, the 3 colors I used for the donut itself, the actual plain donut, are yellow ochre, burnt umber, I think I used lemon yellow a little bit. I used a little bit of white, and I used some crimson red just to create more of an orange tone to it all, just to kind of bring it looking delicious. That was my goal. My goal is to make you want to eat these things. And by the way, again, before we get into the poetry, and I have some interesting fun facts about donuts too I want to share with you. So, all right, I wanted to tell you this, that when I was a young guy in school, not college, but in high school, if you're an artist, I don't know what it's like today. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure because I think there are so many jobs available for artists in today's world because of movies, because of video games, because of video production. Art really is everywhere. And I know from the radio show, because Rob and I interviewed a lot of art teachers while we were on the air. And it sounds like a lot of the art teachers, in addition to teaching traditional art, which is this right here, this paint on paper, that's traditional art, or paint on canvas, that's traditional art. But that is So the other side of that is the digital art. Okay? And I guess, from what I understand, they're even teaching how to use artificial intelligence. So I'm not going to express an opinion on it because I really don't know enough about it. But I wanted to tell you about the commercial aspect of being an artist. I think the one thing that they were trying to do, understandably so, in high school, back in my day, we're talking the 60s, okay? So what they were trying to do was to steer us in the direction of working on Madison Avenue. For those who don't know, Madison Avenue is a street in New York that was known at that time for advertising agencies. And artists pretty much were finding work there, finding work as illustrators more than artists. There's a fine line between the two. But everybody was an artist. But to discipline yourself to be an illustrator was what they were trying to do, and justifiably so. I mean, ultimately, a school is supposed to educate you so that you can have a full life, including a good job. And if you have art skills, then they were at that time persuading us to study commercial art. So we would paint pictures of donuts, although I never did a donut picture. But you would paint pictures of fashion, of women in long dresses, of sunglasses, shoes. We would paint pictures of shoes. I know it's crazy. And sometimes you would do some landscapes if there was an advertisement for a lodge, let's say, or a vacation destination. Those were my favorite because those were the ones that I just liked doing landscapes. So the fact that somebody was going to take that art and put words over it, like visit Florida or visit the Bahamas or something like that, it was okay with me. However, in your heart of hearts, you want to do some art, not commercial art. In your heart of hearts, you want to be the artist who has something hanging up on the wall, maybe in a museum, or maybe on somebody's living room wall. The art teacher I had, he had so many things that he said that I remember. One of the things he said was that if you want to paint pictures of nudes, go ahead and do that. But in my entire career, this is him talking, I've never had anybody ask me to paint a picture of a nude. So it's kind of a skill that you kind of want to do because you kind of want to know about human anatomy. But he didn't feel like that was an important skill because, keep in mind, he's trying to direct us in the direction of commercial art. So like I said, clothing and food. I remember strawberries were popular. Painting pictures of ice cream, painting pictures of salt and pepper shakers. You name it. But anyway, the only argument I would have with him about the human anatomy studies is that if you're painting a portrait of somebody, what is underneath the clothing is important to know, even though you're not going to paint that. It's important to know the bone structure a little bit, just enough to know, but when you're looking at something, if it's right. There you go. That's all I have to say about that. So commercial art, in conclusion to this part of what I'm telling you, in conclusion, if you're young and you're looking to make a career as an illustrator, whether for the movie industry or for the video industry, I will tell you there are so many opportunities. Disney hires artists all the time. I hear through the grapevine they don't pay well, though. I think they do Sometimes I think there's some artists who have a pretty good job there. But it seems like the artists I know who've worked for Disney, and I don't get me wrong, I love the Disney product. And I'm really speaking out of turn here, so forgive me for that. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm just telling you what I heard through the grapevine. All right, enough of that. But there are so many. There's Paramount, and any of the studios. If you look up Bobby Chiu, Chiu, I think, this guy has a lot of information about working as an artist for video games and anime. I think he's involved with anime, and there's so many others. So just look them up if you're a young artist. Now, if you're an old artist like me, you're probably not going that direction. You're probably just painting for the fun of it. You're probably just painting to give people gifts. In my case, it seems like 90% of the time I'm painting to give a card to somebody, which is what I do. Okay, what else did I want to tell you before I get to the poems and the trivia? I don't know. So what I did so far is I painted the donut, and now the chocolate frosting is simply burnt umber. That's all it is. I didn't mix it. I didn't do anything with it. My intent was to paint it on there just as if I was actually frosting a donut. And so that's what I did. I have it dripping off the sides and making sure there was a hole in the middle of the top one, because you couldn't see the hole in the bottom too. And the white frosting on the one in the middle, I just kept the white paper for that. So, and you'll see I'll drizzle more burnt umber, more chocolate. There you go. I'm starting right there. All right, let's look at the poems. Do I have two? I have two of them. The first one does not have a credit to it, so I don't know who wrote it. It's Ode to a Donut. And this is what it says. Round and dense, frosted and sweet, a delight for the mouth and yummy to eat. A tasty little nosh to kickstart the day and brighten this morning in a sugary way. Well, there you go. There you go. Very, very true. All right, the second one is called Ode to Donuts. The first one was Ode to a Donut, and this one is Ode to Donuts. And this one is credited to David Lynch. I don't know if that's an actor. I'm not even sure if that's a character in a TV show. From what I was looking at, I thought it might be, but I don't really know. But that's what it says, by David Lynch. And this is what the poem says. Sugar, cream, and dough, spinning in a ring, glazed or sprinkled, happiness they bring. Coffee companion, round delight, morning, noon, or night, a perfect bite. Hole in the middle, joy all around, in every town they can be found. A simple treasure in a world complex. Donuts, dear donuts, you're the best. Oh, I like that. That's funny. So again, I don't know, David Lynch. So you can see I put the drizzled chocolate on the middle donut, and the top and bottom donuts are going to have vanilla drizzle, I guess. It's white anyway, sugary something. And then, of course, there will be the sprinkles, which you'll see me do that in just a little bit. While I'm doing that, let me read you some trivia that I found about donuts. I got this off of the internet. I do not know who to credit this to, but it's not me. I just looked it up. The first one says, the first donuts were made by Dutch settlers in North America. These early donuts were called oil cakes. Oh, okay, it meant oil cakes. Really? They were called oil cakes. The second fun fact. The classic donut shape with a hole in the center was created in the mid-19th century by a New England ship captain named Hanson Gregory. The story goes that he wanted to be able to hold his donut and steer his ship at the same time, so he cut out the center of the pastry. Ah, come on. Ah, come on. You couldn't hold a banana? You couldn't hold a hamburger? You couldn't hold a turkey leg? Come on. I don't believe that. All right, third one. Donuts were originally a breakfast food, but they have since become popular at all times of the day. Oh, that's an easy one. The next one, National Donut Day, is celebrated on the first Friday in June, which is today, in the United States. The holiday was established in 1938 by the Salvation Army to honor the women who served donuts to soldiers during World War I. Now that's fascinating right there. Here's the next fact. There are many different types of donuts, including cake donuts, yeast donuts, filled donuts, glazed donuts, and more. Yeah, I think we knew that. Some of these facts are obvious. Some of these facts are common knowledge. So they're not really unknown or trivia. Here's the next one. In Japan, donuts are often served with savory toppings like tuna, salmon, and seaweed. Oh no. No. Japanese people don't do that. Do not put tuna on a donut. The next one. The world's largest donut was made in Utica, New York in 1993. It weighed over 3,000 pounds and was over 18 feet in diameter. Wow. The next one. Dunkin' Donuts was one of the most popular donut chains in the United States. Was? Donuts. Oh, it is one of them. It sells over 2.9 billion donuts, and Munchkins, also known as donut holes, each year. 2.9 billion donuts and donut holes. Wow. The next factoid. The Guinness World Record for the most donuts eaten in 3 minutes is held by a man named Patrick Bertoletti, who ate 31 glazed donuts in 2012. Jeez. Trust me, stick to one at a time. Make it a treat. What else do I have here? Donuts are not just a sweet treat. They can also be used in savory dishes like donut burgers, donut grilled cheese sandwiches, and donut breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, I know. I've seen those. I don't think I've ever had them, and it doesn't sound good to me. But maybe it is. Maybe you've had them. Let's see. Oh, listen to this one. Donuts have become a popular canvas for artistic expression. Many bakers create elaborate designs on their donuts, including edible glitter, fondant decorations, and even portraits of celebrities. Huh. Okay. What celebrity would be appropriate for a donut? The next one. The donut industry in the United States employs over 200,000 people and generates over $14 billion in revenue each year. The next one. The average donut contains around 250 to 300 calories, depending on the size and ingredients. Yeah. By the way, that shadow you're seeing in the video, that's me cleaning the brushes, because this is gouache, and it's kind of hard to get unique colors when there's already a color in the brush. So you have to clean the brush. Let's see, what's next here? Donuts are a cultural icon in pop culture. From the famous Dunkin' Donuts commercial jingle called Time to Make the Donuts, to Homer Simpson's love for donuts on The Simpsons, donuts have made their mark in the entertainment world. That's right, I forgot. Homer Simpson loved donuts. Next one. Donuts are known by different names in different parts of the world. In the United Kingdom, they are called donuts. Doughnut's. That's what I was reading to you earlier. In Australia, they are often referred to as jam balls or jam donuts. Hey, I know some of you are in Australia. I didn't know that. All right, the next one. Donuts were once considered a luxury item and were only available at high-end bakeries. However, with the invention of the donut-making machine in the early 20th century, donuts became much more accessible to the masses. I've seen one of those donut-making machines at the flea market. They were selling it. Let's see. The first donut machine was invented in 1920 by a man named Adolf Levitt, who sold his donuts to shops and bakeries in New York City. I wonder if he's related to the guy that started Levittown. Wow, I got a lot of facts here. The next one. Donuts have been used as a form of protest. In 1917, suffragettes in the United States handed out donuts to prisoners who were on a hunger strike as a way to show support for their cause. Well, then you're not on a hunger strike if you're eating donuts. Let's see. Next one. There is a type of donut that is popular in the Philippines called balut, which is a duck egg that has been partially developed and then boiled. Oh no. The egg is then placed inside a donut-like pastry and deep fried. Oh no. I don't know about that one. So in church we sit with a lady from the Philippines and a man, she and her husband. They sit with us and their daughter. They are so sweet, beautiful. But I have to ask them about that. Gotta remember that word, balut. The next one. The world's most expensive donut was created in 2012 by a bakery in the United Kingdom. The donut was covered in edible 24-karat gold and cost $1,685. Now, why would you eat that? I would take the gold off of the donut, melt it down, and cash it in. Buy some art supplies or something. The next little fact, in some cultures, donuts are traditionally eaten on Fat Tuesday or Shrove Tuesday, which is the day before the start of the Christian season of Lent. Yeah, I believe that. The next fact, there is a national donut eating contest held each year at the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest in Coney Island, New York. Now, I grew up very close to Coney Island. I have never heard of that. Well, I didn't go there for the for the hot dog eating contest. So I probably missed it. Let's see. The word donut is sometimes spelled Doughnut. We said that earlier. It says both spellings are correct. So there's the no more debate. No more debate. The internet says they're both correct. Let's see what else we got here. The largest donut ever made weighed 1.7 tons. It was 16 feet in diameter. It was created in Utica, New York. Didn't we have that one earlier? The next one. Dunkin' Donuts was founded in Quincy, Massachusetts in 1950. The next one. The donut is the official state dessert of Massachusetts. Wow. The donut is the official food of the city of Los Angeles. Really? In 2013, the city of Budapest, Hungary, attempted to set a new world record for the largest donut tower. The tower was over 6 feet tall and consisted of over 3,000 donuts. 3,000 donuts? Only 6 feet tall? Oh, it must have been like a pyramid. I was thinking like one on top of another. But it must be like, 100, topped with 99, topped with 98. One of those, like a pyramid. There is a famous donut shop in Portland, Oregon, called Voodoo Donut, which has gained a cult following for its unusual donut flavors, such as the Maple Bacon Bar or the Grape Ape. Krispy Kreme is known for its Hot Now sign, which lights up when the store's signature original glazed donuts are fresh out of the oven. Really? I didn't know that. By the way, in the painting you can see I'm adding the sprinkles. This might have been the most fun part of this painting, was adding the sprinkles. Let's see. Donuts are often used in popular culture as a symbol of indulgence, excess, or temptation. For example, in the television show The Simpsons, the character Homer Simpson is often seen eating donuts. Well, it's a cartoon. It's a comedy. National Donut Day is celebrated in the United States on the first Friday of June. We had that one earlier. That's why we're doing this today. The Salvation Army is often credited with popularizing the donut in the United States. During World War I, Salvation Army volunteers served donuts to soldiers on the front lines. Yes, we had that one earlier too. In some parts of the world, such as the Netherlands, donuts are traditionally eaten on New Year's Eve. Boy, I'm getting hungry for a donut right now. I know I just had one yesterday. The Japanese company Mr. Donut is the largest donut chain in the world with over 1,300 stores in Japan alone. I remember Mr. Donut. Do we not have them here anymore? In some parts of the world, such as Poland and Sweden, donuts are traditionally eaten on the last Thursday before Lent. Okay. There is a type of donut in Japan called the mochi donut, which is made with glutinous rice flour and has a chewy texture. Wow, there's so much trivia here. The next one says this. Are you enjoying this? It says, in some parts of the world, such as France and Spain, donuts are traditionally eaten on Fat Tuesday or Mardi Gras. Yeah, I think we had that one earlier too. Donuts were mentioned in Washington Irving's famous short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which was first published in 1820. In the United States, National Donut Day was established in 1938 to honor the Salvation Army volunteers who served donuts to soldiers during World War I. That's the third time they mentioned that one. There is a type of donut in Denmark called the oligkage, which is made of oil and has a round shape. Yeah, we had that one too. Oil cake, right? Is that what they called it? In the United States, the city of New Orleans is famous for its beignets, which are a type of deep-fried donuts that is often served with powdered sugar on top. Yes. Oh my gosh. Those are good. They are very good. But you can't eat too many of them. You just can't. What's the next one? In the United States, I have that one. There's a type of donut in Korea called the Saewu Twigum, which is made with shrimp and has a savory flavor. Oh no, that's as bad as tuna. That's worse than tuna. In some parts of the world, such as Italy and Portugal, donuts are traditionally eaten at Carnival. Carnival. In the United States, the city of Chicago is famous for its Chicago-style donuts, which are filled with jelly and covered in powdered sugar. I do like jelly donuts. My dad loved jelly donuts. There's a jelly donut that's in Jewish culture, too. I can't remember what they call it. Let's see. There's a type of donut in Malaysia called the kuikiria, which is made with sweet potato and has a chewy texture. Yeah, I don't think so. Donut-themed clothing is a popular fashion trend with donut-printed shirts, leggings, and even socks available for purchase. Well, guess where my painting is going? I'm going to put it on Redbubble, and maybe they'll make some shirts out of it. Let's see. There are donut-shaped pool floats that can be used for lounging in the water or as a fun addition to pool parties. Oh, I see these things all the time. People float down the Rainbow River with them. Here, not too far from where I live. In 2019, Dunkin', formerly known as Dunkin' Donuts, really, they dropped the donut part of their name? Released a limited edition line of nail polish inspired by their signature colors and flavors, including cocoa mocha, butternutty, and blueberry crisp. Okay. You can paint your fingernails to look like donut flavors. Donut-shaped phone cases are a popular accessory with a variety of designs available for different phone models. I didn't know that. There are donut-shaped candles available in different scents, such as vanilla frosting and cinnamon sugar, to bring the delicious smell of donuts into your home. I know, but they don't really smell like donuts. Maybe they do. Oh, by the way, in the art, what I'm doing now is my one thing I always feel like I need to do is to put some vertical shapes, some vertical lines, and I didn't want to keep this one sharp, but you'll see when it's all done how it ended up. But that's what I'm doing there. Donut-shaped stress balls are a fun and quirky way to relieve stress and anxiety with different colors and designs available. So I don't know about that, but I'll tell you this, that before I started taking a blood thinner, I was a regular blood donor. And once you start taking a blood thinner, the blood banks don't want you to donate blood anymore. I guess because it's not good for your health. But they would give you these stress balls to squeeze. And I do remember the donut-shaped ones, so I was familiar with that. Donut-shaped plush toys are popular children's toys with soft and cuddly designs. I've seen those. I got 2 more. Donut-themed stationery, including notebooks, pens, and stickers, are a fun way to add some personality to your desk and school supplies. And the last one on this list, donut-shaped lip balms are a unique and tasty way to keep your lips moisturized with flavors like strawberry sprinkles and chocolate glaze. Wow. We all now know more about donuts than we ever knew. And the painting is pretty much done. I love the transition of the purple to the blue in the background. I love the scattered sprinkles, which in reality they're just dots of different colored paint. I love the way the sprinkles look on top of the vanilla and chocolate frosting. So I do like this particular one, this particular painting. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you for watching and for subscribing and for all of the super sweet comments you make. How about that for a way to end it? Super sweet in a video talking about donuts. So happy Donut Day. Got a little bit more because I want to show you how it looks as a card. There, let me fold it now and show you how it looks as a card. I love making these little cards. Here we go. And there it is, kids. That was a fun one. I enjoyed making the video. I enjoyed painting the picture. I always enjoy chatting with you guys. Don't forget the Facebook page for Poppa Paints. See you later.